If you have kidney issues, this video might be the most important thing you hear today. Because every bite of protein you eat can either heal your kidneys or quietly push them closer to failure. You see, protein is essential. We need it to build muscle, repair tissue, stay energized. But here's the part most people never hear. Not all protein is safe. In fact, some protein sources can flood your kidneys with acid, nitrogen waste, phosphorus, and urea. And when your kidneys are already weakened, this extra load can be devastating. You may not feel it at first, but over time, you might notice swelling, fatigue, muscle cramps, or lab numbers that keep getting worse, even when you're eating healthy. It's not your fault, because nobody tells you which proteins are actually harming your kidneys. But that ends today. This video is not about cutting out protein completely. It's about choosing the right ones. The ones that nourish your body, without overwhelming your kidneys. So stay with me, because I'm going to show you 4 kidney-smart protein sources that are gentle, healing, and easy to digest. 6 common proteins that silently damage your kidneys, often hiding in your daily meals. Smart cooking tips to reduce hidden dangers. And 1 bonus habit that helps improve your kidney function starting tomorrow morning. Because if your goal is to slow down kidney disease, avoid dialysis, and feel stronger and more in control, it all starts with what's on your plate. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, which protein do you eat most often? Chicken, beans, eggs, something else? I'm curious what you're working with, because today you might discover a better option. Now let's begin. Starting with a small grain. That's doing something very big for kidney health. Protein number 4, quinoa. The gentle, complete grain. It doesn't look like much. Tiny seeds. Soft texture. No strong flavor. But what if I told you this little grain is actually a complete protein? One of the safest and most effective options for seniors with kidney issues? Its name is quinoa. And for people with kidney damage, it could be the difference between feeling sluggish and feeling strong again. Here's why. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids. That's rare, especially for a plant. Most plant proteins are incomplete. But quinoa delivers the full building blocks your body needs to maintain muscle, energy, and immunity. But even more important, it does it without overloading your kidneys. Let's break it down. 1 cup of cooked quinoa gives you about 8 grams of high-quality protein, enough to support tissue repair and muscle strength, but gentle enough to avoid flooding your kidneys with waste. It's also low in phosphorus and potassium, which makes it safer than many legumes or grains that spike mineral levels and stress damaged kidneys. And there's something else hidden inside quinoa: dietary fiber. Fiber helps bind and remove uremic toxins from your gut, so your kidneys don't have to deal with them. That's less waste, less pressure, and more energy for you. Now here's what makes quinoa even more special. Its amino acid profile is almost identical to milk protein, which means your body uses it efficiently, with less metabolic waste left behind. And when your kidneys are already struggling to clear nitrogen and acid, that kind of efficiency is gold. Let me share a story. Sandra was 70, stage 4 CKD. She had trouble with grains like brown rice or lentils. They spiked her potassium and left her bloated. Her dietitian recommended quinoa. Within a few weeks, Sandra's digestion improved. Her energy stabilized, and her lab numbers stopped bouncing around. It wasn't magic. It was a better choice. Now, let's talk preparation. Before you cook quinoa, always rinse it thoroughly. There's a natural coating called saponin that can irritate digestion if not removed. So run it under cold water, swirl it, drain it, then cook it. Stick to 1/2 to 1 cup per day, depending on your protein needs. You can eat it warm or cold. Pair it with steamed vegetables. Add it to kidney-safe soups. Or mix it with a few cubes of tofu for a complete, easy-to-digest meal. Just avoid high-sodium toppings like feta cheese or instant quinoa with added salt or flavor packs. Keep it simple, clean, gentle. Because with quinoa, you're not just eating a grain. You're giving your kidneys a break. You're giving your body energy, without the inflammation, acid, and strain that comes from the wrong protein. And for seniors fighting fatigue, swelling, or lab numbers that just won't improve, this small switch can change everything. Now let's move to protein number 3. It's not a plant. It's not a grain. But it's one of the cleanest animal proteins you can eat, and your kidneys will thank you for it. Protein number 3, tilapia, the lean, low-load fish. Sometimes your body craves something warm, something hearty, something that satisfies without weighing you down. If you have kidney issues, and you still want to enjoy animal-based protein, tilapia might be your best option. It's a mild, lean white fish, low in fat, gentle on digestion, and easy to prepare. But most importantly, it doesn't overwhelm your kidneys like red meat does. A 100-gram serving of tilapia gives you around 22 grams of high-quality protein. More than enough to maintain your muscles, your strength, and your energy. But unlike beef or lamb, tilapia has less phosphorus, less saturated fat, and far fewer inflammatory compounds. That means your kidneys work less, your heart stays healthier, and your body feels lighter, inside and out. There's more. Tilapia provides vitamin B12 and selenium, 2 nutrients that support kidney metabolism and reduce oxidative stress. And because it's easy to digest, it won't flood your system with nitrogen waste like heavier meats. How should you cook it? Keep it gentle. Steam it, bake it, lightly grill it. Use fresh herbs, a little lemon, or a pinch of pepper. Avoid deep frying or heavy sauces. They only add salt and stress. 1 or 2 4-ounce servings per week is plenty. George, 67, was always tired. His urea levels were high. But after replacing red meat with steamed tilapia, his appetite improved. His labs got better, and his energy came back. Sometimes the solution is simple. And in this case, it swims. Protein number 2, tofu, the anti-inflammatory plant powerhouse. It's soft. It's simple. And for many people, it's confusing. But if you're living with kidney issues, tofu might be one of the smartest protein choices you can make. It doesn't scream superfood. It doesn't have a strong taste. But inside this quiet little block is a combination of nutrients that's surprisingly perfect for fragile kidneys. Let's start with the basics. A half cup of tofu gives you around 10 grams of clean, plant-based protein, with far less phosphorus than animal meats. That's critical, because when phosphorus builds up, it pulls calcium from your bones, damages blood vessels, and speeds up kidney decline. Tofu helps you avoid that. It also has a neutral fur, unlike meat, which increases the acid load in your body. Tofu supports better acid-base balance, giving your kidneys less work to do. And there's more. Tofu contains isoflavones and natural antioxidants that calm inflammation. That matters because inflammation is one of the silent drivers of kidney disease. Tofu is also gentle to digest. It doesn't leave behind excess nitrogen waste, so your kidneys don't have to filter as much. Now here's the key. Keep your preparation simple. Soft tofu works great in smoothies or scrambles. Firm tofu can be grilled or baked. Just avoid salty marinades and sauces. Choose organic, non-GMO. Keep the sodium low. Mark, 58, was skeptical. Stage 4 CKD. After switching from red meat to tofu, his phosphorus dropped, his energy improved, and his blood pressure stabilized. Sometimes, the foods we overlook are the ones that heal us best. Protein number 1. Egg whites. Pure, powerful, and kidney smart. They're small, they're easy to cook, and they might be the cleanest protein your kidneys will ever meet. We're talking about egg whites. Not the whole egg, just the white. Because when you separate it from the yolk, you get pure, kidney-safe protein without the phosphorus, cholesterol, or saturated fat. Let's go deeper. Each large egg white delivers about 3.6 grams of complete protein. That means all 9 essential amino acids, ready to repair muscle, support immunity, and keep your energy stable. But here's what makes it perfect for people with kidney issues. The phosphorus content is incredibly low. Only 10 milligrams per egg white, compared to 86 milligrams in a whole egg. That's a huge difference. Because when phosphorus builds up in your blood, it weakens bones, hardens arteries, and burdens already fragile kidneys. Egg whites skip that problem. They also contain virtually no purines, so they won't raise your uric acid levels. No risk of gout flare-ups. No added stress on filtration. And the protein in egg whites, it's called albumin. It's so efficient, so easy to absorb. It's considered the gold standard by scientists. A biological value of 100. Which means your body uses it completely, with very little waste left for your kidneys to clean up. Maria, 62, was struggling. Stage 3 CKD. She swapped her daily meat for 3 to 4 egg whites. Boiled. Steamed. Lightly scrambled without oil. Within weeks, her phosphorus dropped. Her energy improved. And her stress around food disappeared. That's the beauty of egg whites. They give you freedom. You can add them to oatmeal. Toss them into a stir-fry. Roll them in a kidney-safe wrap. They're light, versatile, gentle on your heart, and even gentler on your kidneys. Just one note. Always cook them. Raw egg whites can block biotin absorption over time. And skip the frying pan. Oils, salts, and additives undo their benefits. Choose organic or pasture-raised when you can. If buying liquid whites, check the label. No added sodium, no preservatives. Because a small swap, like choosing egg whites over whole eggs or red meat, can create big changes in your labs and your life. Now, let's talk about the other side. The proteins that may look safe, but could be harming your kidneys every single day. Protein to avoid number 6, beef steak. Heavy on flavor, heavier on your kidneys. It's rich, it's satisfying. And for many, it's hard to give up. But if your kidneys are struggling, beef steak might be one of the heaviest burdens you're putting on them. Let's start with what's inside. Yes, steak is high in protein. But that protein comes with a price. High phosphorus, high saturated fat, and high uric acid production. That's a triple threat for aging kidneys. When phosphorus builds up, it pulls calcium from your bones, weakens your skeleton, and increases your risk of vascular calcification, where blood vessels harden like cement. Saturated fat. It clogs arteries, reduces blood flow, and promotes inflammation inside the kidneys. Over time, that inflammation chips away at your filtering power, until it's barely there. And then there's uric acid. Red meats like steak are loaded with purines. Purines turn into uric acid, and when levels get too high, you face gout, joint pain, and even faster kidney decline. James, 72, had stage 3 CKD. He ate steak 2 to 3 times a week. He felt strong until the labs came in. Elevated creatinine, high uric acid, gout in his feet. Once he swapped steak for lighter proteins, like egg whites and fish, his numbers improved, and the pain started to fade. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Because here's the truth. Even occasional steak can add up. And for kidneys that are already working overtime, every bite matters. If you want to protect what function you still have, choose leaner, lower phosphorus alternatives. Your body will thank you. So will your kidneys. Now let's look at protein number 5. It's not what you think. And it might already be sitting in your pantry. Right now. Protein to avoid number 5. Canned black beans. A sneaky source of stress for your kidneys. They sound healthy. They look healthy. And most people never think twice before adding them to a meal. But if you have kidney problems, canned black beans could be doing more harm than good. Let me explain. Yes, beans are plant-based. Yes, they contain fiber and protein. But when it comes to canned black beans, the danger is in the details. Let's start with potassium. 1 cup, even after rinsing, can pack over 600 milligrams of potassium. That's a huge load for weakened kidneys. And if your kidneys can't remove it fast enough, that potassium builds up in your blood. The result: irregular heart rhythms, muscle weakness, and in serious cases, cardiac arrest. But there's more. Canned beans are often loaded with sodium, sometimes 300 to 500 milligrams per serving. That much salt causes fluid retention, spikes blood pressure, and increases the burden on your heart and kidneys. Then there's the phosphorus. Beans naturally contain it, but in cans it often comes with phosphate additives, the most dangerous kind. Because synthetic phosphates are absorbed rapidly, which makes blood levels spike higher and faster. Teresa, 66, had stage 4 CKD. She loved her daily bean bowl, but despite eating healthy, her potassium levels kept climbing. Her doctor told her the truth. It wasn't the beans. It was the canned beans. Once she switched to dried beans, properly soaked and portion-controlled, her potassium stabilized, her swelling improved, and she finally felt back in control. Here's the lesson. Beans aren't the enemy. The form, the portion, and the preparation make all the difference. If you still want to enjoy them, use dried beans soaked overnight. If you must use canned, look for no salt added versions. Rinse them thoroughly and limit your portion to half a cup or less. Because what feels like a healthy choice can quietly become a kidney stressor if you're not careful. Now let's move to protein number 4. It's one of the most popular supplements in the world. But for kidney patients, it might be doing far more harm than good. Protein to avoid number 4. Whey protein isolates. Popular, powerful, and problematic for your kidneys. They're everywhere. In health stores, in gym bags, in those shiny tubs that promise strength, muscle, and energy. But if you have kidney issues, whey protein isolates may be quietly working against you. Let's break it down. Whey protein isolate is marketed as clean and pure. And in many ways, it is. It's high in protein, low in fat, and absorbs quickly. But here's what most people never hear. That speed and density can overwhelm damaged kidneys. Because with every scoop, you're flooding your body with concentrated nitrogen waste that your kidneys now have to work even harder to clear. In people with normal kidneys, that's no problem. But if your kidney function is already reduced, that extra load can push you toward fatigue, swelling, and even faster decline. It doesn't stop there. Many whey isolates are high in phosphorus, even though it's rarely listed on the label. That phosphorus, once absorbed, can strip calcium from your bones, harden arteries, and increase cardiovascular risk in kidney patients. And unlike whole foods, Whey protein powders lack balance. There's no fiber, no antioxidants, no protective compounds to offset the metabolic stress. Dan, 48, was active, healthy looking, but his doctor diagnosed early-stage kidney disease. He used whey isolates daily, believing they were helping him stay fit. But his creatinine kept climbing, his energy dropped, and he felt worse with each passing month. Only after replacing his powders with whole food proteins, like tofu, quinoa, and egg whites, did his labs stabilize and his fatigue lift. The lesson: if your kidneys are struggling, the goal isn't just high protein. The goal is smart protein, the kind your body can use without harm. So if you're still using powders, ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Now let's move to protein number 3. It's quick, it's cheap, it's everywhere. But for your kidneys, it's one of the worst. Protein to avoid number 3. Hot dogs. A triple threat to your kidneys. They're fast. They're cheap. They're found in lunchboxes, ballparks, and weekend barbecues. But for your kidneys, hot dogs are one of the most dangerous foods you can eat. Here's why. First, they're ultra-processed. That means they're not just meat. They're a mix of fillers, binders, preservatives, and chemical additives. Each one harder for your kidneys to handle. Let's talk sodium. A single hot dog can contain over 600 milligrams of salt. That's nearly a third of the daily limit for someone with kidney disease. And most people don't stop at just one. This sodium raises blood pressure, causes fluid retention, and makes your kidneys work overtime just to keep up. Then come the phosphate additives. These are synthetic phosphates, added to preserve shelf life, color, and texture. And they're absorbed almost 100% into your bloodstream. That's the kind of phosphorus that quickly raises your blood levels, leading to calcium loss, bone weakening, and heart strain. But the damage doesn't stop there. Hot dogs are also full of nitrates, preservatives linked to increased inflammation in the kidneys and blood vessels. Inflammation that accelerates kidney decline. Quietly, relentlessly. Michael, 71, had stage 3 CKD. He loved hot dogs. Quick lunch, no cleanup. But over time, his GFR dropped. His blood pressure spiked, and he didn't understand why. When he finally cut them out, things changed. His swelling reduced, his labs improved, and his energy began to return. Here's the truth. If the label has ingredients you can't pronounce, if it comes vacuum sealed and ready in 30 seconds, it's probably hurting your kidneys. Hot dogs may seem harmless, but for someone with reduced kidney function, they're a triple threat. Sodium, phosphorus, nitrates, all attacking your kidneys from different angles. Now let's move to protein number 2. It's a plant-based food, often praised as healthy. But for people with kidney issues, it hides a dangerous load. Protein to avoid number 2, red lentils. The plant-based risk no one warns you about. They look innocent, tiny, earthy, natural. And for years, red lentils have been praised as one of the best plant-based proteins on the planet. But if you have kidney issues, they may be causing more harm than good. Here's why. Yes, red lentils are rich in fiber and protein, but they're also extremely high in potassium and phosphorus. Let's talk numbers. 1 cooked cup of red lentils contains over 350 milligrams of phosphorus and more than 700 milligrams of potassium. That combination is dangerous for anyone with reduced kidney function, because when your kidneys can't clear potassium efficiently, it builds up in the blood. And too much potassium can cause irregular heart rhythms, muscle weakness, or in severe cases, sudden cardiac arrest. Excess phosphorus doesn't just sit quietly either. It strips calcium from your bones. It promotes vascular calcification, and it pushes the kidneys toward faster decline, especially in later stages of CKD. But here's the tricky part. Most people think, it's plant-based, it must be healthy. And in general, yes. But when kidneys are damaged, even healthy foods need to be reevaluated. Leo, 59, was vegan. Stage 4 CKD. He ate red lentils almost every day. He felt tired, dizzy, and his potassium levels kept spiking, despite everything else being clean. His doctor made one change. Cut the lentils. Switch to lower potassium grains like quinoa or white rice. Within 2 weeks, his labs improved. His energy came back, and the arrhythmia symptoms disappeared. The lesson: not all plant-based proteins are kidney safe. When you have CKD, the numbers matter. So if you're eating red lentils often, it's time to pause, check your portion, and talk to your dietitian about safer alternatives. Because even natural foods can carry hidden risks when your kidneys are vulnerable. Now let's shift from problems to power. Let me show you a simple daily habit that supports your kidneys every morning. Bonus habit: a morning walk. The simple movement that boosts kidney health. It doesn't require a gym. It doesn't cost a thing. And it might be the most powerful medicine your kidneys never get prescribed. It's a 20-minute morning walk. That's it. No equipment, no speed. Just you moving your body gently each morning. Why is it so powerful? Because movement increases blood circulation, and when blood flow improves, your kidneys receive more oxygen, more nutrients, and more support to filter waste efficiently. A walk also helps regulate blood pressure and blood sugar, two of the biggest enemies of kidney function. And unlike intense workouts, walking is gentle. It doesn't flood your body with lactic acid or stress hormones. It simply encourages your organs to wake up and do their jobs better. Studies show that regular walking can improve GFR, your kidney's filtration rate, lower inflammation, reduce water retention, and increase insulin sensitivity. But perhaps the biggest benefit: it helps with your mindset. Most patients say the same thing. After walking, I feel lighter, clearer, more in control. That's powerful. So tomorrow morning, before the phone rings, before the noise of the day begins, step outside, breathe, walk. Give your kidneys the oxygen and movement they need to heal and keep going. Now let's bring it all together. Let's take a moment to reflect. You now know the truth. Not all protein is safe. And for someone living with kidney issues, every bite matters. You've learned about 4 kidney-smart proteins that nourish your body without overworking your kidneys. Quinoa, complete, low-stress plant protein. Tilapia, lean, clean, easy to digest. Tofu, anti-inflammatory, gentle, protective. Egg whites, pure, phosphorus-free, efficient. You've also uncovered the 6 high-risk proteins to avoid. The ones that flood your kidneys with sodium, phosphorus, acid, or nitrogen. Turkey bacon, red lentils, hot dogs, whey isolates, canned black beans, beef steak. And you now have one simple daily habit: a short morning walk that supports your kidneys from the inside out. Because healing isn't always complicated. Sometimes it's about small, intentional choices made consistently. One protein swap, one less processed food, one walk outside. These things add up. They protect your filtration. They reduce pressure. They give your kidneys room to breathe and recover. So now it's your turn. Which protein will you swap this week? Egg whites instead of steak? Tofu instead of bacon? Let me know in the comments. Your small decision could inspire someone else. And if you found this video helpful, tap like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a life-changing kidney tip. And please, share this with a friend facing kidney issues. You might just give them the one message they needed to hear. Remember, you're not powerless. You're not stuck. You don't have to wait until things get worse. Because strength, balance, clarity, they all begin with your next bite. I'm rooting for your health, one smart choice at a time.